It was a warm May evening in a quiet Portuguese resort. The sun has set over the Atlantic, and while a group of friends laughs over dinner just 50 meters away, a 3-year-old girl vanishes from her bed, leaving behind nothing but an open window and a mystery that would haunt the world. This is the story of May 3rd, 2007, a date that changed the lives of the McCann family forever, and launched the most intensive missing person search in modern history. Before we dive into the chilling details of that night in Praia da Luz, please take a quick moment to comment, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of the Calendar of Crime. Your support helps us keep these stories alive and ensures that no case is ever truly forgotten. Now, let's return to the Ocean Club Resort, where the silence of the night was about to be shattered. The McCann family had arrived at the Ocean Club in Praia da Luz on April 28th for a week-long spring break. Kate and Jerry, both successful physicians from Leicestershire, were joined by 7 of their closest friends and their children. The atmosphere was one of relaxation and safety. The resort was a popular spot for British families, often referred to as Little Britain, because of its familiar comforts. For the first few days, the holiday was everything they had hoped for, filled with sun, tennis, and the laughter of their 3 children. 3-year-old Madeleine and her 2-year-old twin siblings, Sean and Amelie. On the evening of May 3rd, the routine was no different from previous nights. At approximately 8:30 p.m., after settling the children into their beds in apartment 5A, Kate and Jerry headed to the resort's Tapas restaurant. The restaurant was a mere 55 meters away, within clear sight of the apartment block. To maintain a watchful eye, the parents had agreed on a system of regular checks, with one adult returning to the apartments every half hour to ensure the children were still sleeping soundly. It was a plan born of caution, yet it would soon prove to be tragically insufficient. The first check was performed by Jerry at 9:05 p.m. He entered through the unlocked patio doors, found the children asleep, and even noted how peaceful they looked. However, he did notice that the bedroom door, which he remembered leaving slightly ajar, was now open much wider. At the time, he dismissed it as a draft, or perhaps one of the children moving in their sleep. He returned to the restaurant, unaware that the countdown to a nightmare had already begun. Shortly after, a friend of the family, Jane Tanner, spotted a man walking hurriedly away from the resort, carrying a child in pajamas. At the time, she didn't realize the significance of what she had seen. At 9:30 p.m., another friend, Matthew Oldfield, offered to check on the McCann children while checking on his own. He stood in the doorway of the bedroom and heard no sound. Seeing the twins in their cots, he assumed Madeleine was also asleep in her bed, which was obscured from his direct line of sight by the door. He didn't enter the room further, a decision that would later be scrutinized. The group continued their dinner, the conversation flowing, entirely unaware that the bed in apartment 5A was already empty. The clock struck 10 p.m., and it was Kate's turn to check. She walked the short distance to the apartment and entered through the patio doors. As she approached the children's bedroom, she felt a sudden, chilling draft. The door, which should have been nearly closed, was swinging. When she reached for it, it slammed shut. Opening it again, she looked toward Madeleine's bed. It was empty, the window was open, and the heavy exterior shutter had been raised from the outside. Panic surged through her as she searched the small apartment, her voice rising in a desperate call for her daughter. Kate ran back to the Tapas restaurant, her face a mask of terror. "Madeleine's gone! Someone's taken her!" she screamed. The peaceful evening was instantly shattered. Friends, resort staff, and even other holidaymakers joined in a frantic search of the grounds. They checked the pool, the dark alleys of Praia da Luz, and the rugged coastline, calling Madeleine's name into the night. The Portuguese police, the Policia Judiciaria, were notified, but the initial response was criticized for being slow and disorganized. The golden hour for finding a missing child was slipping away. In the days that followed, the world's media descended on the small village. Images of Madeleine, with her blonde hair and the distinctive dark strip in her right eye, were broadcast across every continent. Celebrities, business moguls, and even the Pope offered support and rewards for her safe return. Yet, Despite thousands of reported sightings and a massive international investigation, the trail remained cold. The McCanns found themselves at the center of a storm, moving from grieving parents to arguidos, or official suspects in a bizarre turn of the investigation. Before eventually being cleared of any involvement, years turned into decades, and the search for Madeleine McCann became one of the most complex and expensive in history. Operation Grange, launched by the Metropolitan Police in 2011, sought to re-examine every piece of evidence. New theories emerged, ranging from a botched burglary to a targeted abduction by a predatory ring. In 2020, a significant breakthrough occurred when German authorities identified a convicted sex offender, Christian Brückner, as the prime suspect. While the investigation continues and the mystery remains unsolved, the hope of finding the truth, and perhaps even Madeleine, never truly fades. Thanks for watching. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe for future episodes from the Calendar of Crime.